I know that last session we were talking a little bit. You gave me a brief little understanding of the event that you're referencing to with your trauma and everything. I know that we talked a little bit about that, and just now you used a word that you're feeling very overwhelmed. And maybe just trying to make sense of what it is that you're experiencing emotionally through all of this. Am I understanding that correctly, or am I off on that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely just like I don't even know what I'm feeling.
Okay, gotcha. Um, well, I do have a worksheet actually that might be able to help guide you through some of that. Is that something that you'd be interested in working through together today?
Mm, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And it's actually part of what you and I have been working on a little bit from CPT, that cognitive processing therapy. And so I'm going to go ahead and send you this little handout. Pretend like I'm sending you the handout here. Okay, so I have this handout that I just sent to you, and it
Okay.
looks like this. Let me know when you get that.
I have it.
Okay, perfect. So as you can see on here, it's just a little handout that can be used to help you identify what it is that you're experiencing emotionally. Especially when we experience something that is complex like trauma, there could be a whole whirlwind of different emotions that are kind of working together to, form our experience as a whole. And so I was thinking, and I want to know what your thought is on this as well. How do you feel about just kind of going through some of these to help familiarize yourself with what different emotions you could be experiencing and how severely you're experiencing them? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so I guess we'll just kind of I'll just kind of let you take a look over it, and take a look at the different emotions. And if one pops out to you, I invite you to share that with me and we can kind of talk
Okay.
about that a little bit.
Okay. So just look over it and let you know.
Yeah, is that okay? Or we could
Mhm.
also go through, like, if it's more comfortable to have me read them out loud to you, I can always do that as well.
Um, I can look at it.
Okay, sounds good.
Mm. Okay, so it's like giving examples of like sad if it's like a little bit of sadness versus a lot of sadness, right?
Exactly. Yes, because like there's different emotions that you could be experiencing, there's also different intensities of that emotion that you can be experiencing as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like right now I just feel really like ashamed.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I still feel like what happened to me is like my fault and I know I need to like work through that and like if I think about it I just feel like overwhelmed, but it probably starts with ashamed.
I hear you. So you've kind of been internalizing that and just really feeling to yourself like maybe you had a role to play in it that, maybe you do have some of the blame there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I just want to gently remind you as well. I know that sometimes we feel these things, right? Like logically, we can think one thing, but
Mhm.
emotionally feel a completely other thing, right?
Mhm.
And so, kind of like we were addressing in your last session, this truly was not your fault. And you kind of mentioned that logically you know that, but emotionally, it's been easy for you lately to just kind of feel that blame and to feel ashamed.
Mhm.
I appreciate you sharing that with me. Um, can I bring to attention just a specific phrase that you used just barely, and we can kind of talk about that just a little bit?
Mhm.
Okay. And so you were talking just barely about how you feel ashamed because you feel like you have some blame there, right? Like maybe it was your fault.
Mhm.
Do you remember last week when we were kind of talking about those stuck points?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, it sounds like, and I'm curious to know if you feel like this might be a stuck point that you're experiencing.
Like something that I need to work through, like something that I need to change.
Yeah, you can think about it kind of that way, right? Something that's just kind of preventing you from being able to move forward and heal, and also kind of an indicator that maybe there is an opportunity to adopt maybe a little bit of a healthier way of thinking and feeling about that
Mm.
experience.
Um, yeah, yeah, it's probably a stuck point for me.
Okay, gotcha. I would agree with that. It kind of sounds like a stuck point. I know that we have, last week we kind of went over, some more of these stuck points, and it kind of sounds like one of those kind of self-blame, statements. Like, for example, like because I didn't tell anyone, I am to blame for abuse. That was one of the examples on that worksheet that we went through last week, right? Sounds
Mhm.
very similar to what you're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
Um, um, Perfect. Well, Becca, I appreciate you being open and honest with me and what you're experiencing. And from here, how about if we kind of transition into talking a little bit more about how we can help you move on from this stuck point?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and do that.